So we got rejected. They kicked us. They kicked our butt, and hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yes, as you all know, I am Shed, and this is my wife.
I'm Faith.
Yes, and we want to welcome again our new subscribers and the old ones. Thank you all for your love. Thank you for your support. Keep liking, keep commenting, and if you have any questions about the episodes that we have done so far, please do well to drop them in the comment section. And like we had said earlier, we will do well to respond if the need be. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So
we'll continue from the last episode, right? So we didn't want to just make it too long, so we're still from where we left off. So now we're in the UK. We're good. We were in a place. Our host family, at this point we started having the conversation of what's next.
Yeah.
As I was getting close to my due date, and at this point I had not bought a thing for the baby that was coming, because we don't even know where are we going to be when the baby comes. And that was the point where it actually dawned on me, and I had a breakdown.
Okay, I think it's also good to mention that at that point we had hoped to not have our baby even in the UK.
Yeah.
We had hoped to have the baby in Canada, which was our final destination. And because my wife, she was doing a master's program, and she had put in just before the war for a visa to go to Canada. And so we were hoping that because there's a war going on in Ukraine, and maybe priorities will be given to people who are applying from that location.
True.
And so she would be able to get a response earlier, and she would go to the UK, go to Canada. And so that was it. So we really hoped, and so the UK was like a waiting phase for us.
And I was checking my emails for response. We were calling the IRCC office, that's Canadian Immigration, like, guys, please just approve this visa. And at that point it's not even so much about my husband and Ivan. They were willing to stay in the UK, but I needed to go ahead because I understood that eventually if it be that the baby was born outside, it means I have to put a new application. And I was crying me a river. I was weeping. And when it felt like the response was a comment, I told you, okay.
So, I mean, that was a moment where we had to, make a tough decision. Plus, that was just one of the reasons why we felt the need to leave. But another reason was, okay, if the baby comes, are we going to be in that place with the baby? So we were apparently given a room in the house. It's a two bedroom, and we had a room. I think that's the room for the kids. Yeah, and so it was myself, my wife, and Ivan. And if another child is gonna come, which is obviously she needs her space for a nursing mom, right? So it wasn't gonna be it wasn't ideal to remain there. And plus the fact that these guys, they've really tried for us. I mean, they have really tried, and at that point we just felt the need to be as a family. Do you understand? Yeah. So, and as much as it was hard. I didn't want to make the move to leave. It was the best thing for. I mean, at that point, it did seem like, guys, you have to check out.
Decided that we're going to go back to Ukraine, right? And that was with lots of pleading. I begged my husband. I pleaded. I cried. Like, it was a topic every day. I'm like, please, let's just go back.
Okay.
And then he had a dream.
Another thing.
The dreamer.
Before the dream. So, I know some of you may be asking, so why didn't you just go rent a place and all of that? Why didn't you just go, Please note that at that point we were just visitors in the UK.
Yeah, our status, yeah.
And it's almost impossible to rent a place without having a status in the UK. And, and
we knew we're not going to be there for long.
And plus, yes, we weren't actually planning to settle there. There were lots of unanswered questions. One thing we didn't want to have is even have the baby in the UK, because at that point, because we didn't have a status in the UK, our child was going to
take up the nationality of the parents. Now, if you know what that means.
Yeah, for those of us, for some of you, or if you understand immigration, how it goes, if you're abroad and if you've lived outside of Nigeria for some time, you don't obviously understand what we mean by that. There were lots of reasons for us, and just at that point we thought, okay, we gotta go back to Ukraine.
And we bought our ticket. And then we were so excited. We were
so excited. I wasn't.
I was excited.
I wasn't
because
excited.
Today my husband
we're going back to a war zone.
Yes. So when my husband said we're going back, I'm like, oh, that's fine. I was really excited too. I just wanted to. I felt the least that could be was okay, since our oldest son had Ukrainian citizenship. It's okay for the baby to just follow suit, right? That was the.
So today is 13th of May and we are at the airport. We're going home to Ukraine. Yeah. That's the baby though. That's the baby though. I'm so excited to go back to my home and say my final goodbyes. When we move on to the other side. Super duper excited.
So we got our tickets to being that we couldn't fly from the UK to Ukraine, so we bought our tickets to just go through Romania, and from Romania we go by bus to Ukraine, which was the route that we used when we were coming out. Though there were lots of questions as to whether we'll be allowed to fly because we did not have any kind of European residency. If you're leaving the UK to Romania, you need to have some form of visa or permit. But Sha believed that it was going to work out, right? And because we stamped out of Romania, we thought they would let us stamp back in.
Yeah, but then it wasn't just a case of what we thought. The point was Ukrainians, people from Ukraine were given some kind of access around Europe. So if you're from Ukraine and you have a document to show that you're from Ukraine, so you're able to move freely around Europe. But then we had left Europe into the United Kingdom, and we just thought, because we also are permanent residents of Ukraine,
and our son had a Ukrainian passport. If it was us, interestingly, our son was allowed to do that before. They say we're permanent residents, we're not allowed, So, we got, interestingly, we got to the airport, we checked in, everything was okay, just by the boarding gate. Not even, we had passed security, everything. Just by the boarding gate, we were not allowed to fly. Like, we just went in, she was like, okay, where are you guys going? Like, oh, we're going to Romania. For what? We're like, we're going back to Ukraine, but we came out from Romania, so we're going back to Romania. And she was like, where's your visas? We're like, no, we don't need a visas, right? She was like, no, you need a visa. And she was like, just a second, I'll make a call. And then she makes the call, she calls the boss, she was like, oh, yeah, these Nigerian guys who are going to Romania and didn't have a visa. I'm like, hey ma'am, that's not the story. It's not Nigerian guys with Nigerian passport. We are Ukrainian permanent residents and our son is Ukrainian. We are just going to Romania to go to Ukraine. And she was like, no, allow me speak. She was just not nice. She was just not a nice lady.
Yeah,
she just didn't like us. But then which we'll talk about, lessons learned. It was just not the right time. That was just God saying, guys, chill. You're going too fast.
So we got rejected. They kicked our butt. And when you miss a flight, they don't just let you out of the airport like that. You'd have to go through some sort of
security
check.
She didn't even tell us.
So we were left stranded in the airport because it was late.
It was a night flight.
Yeah, it was late in the night, and
I was heavily pregnant.
She was pregnant, so
with 1 year, how many months old, and we had said goodbye to our host family.
So we basically didn't have a place to go back to. You understand? So it's not as though we couldn't go back to them, but then we had said goodbye.
And it was very late at night.
Yeah, it was very late,
midnight. There was
so that's a little man. So we had to stay the night at the airport.
So guys, I'm still at Gatwick Airport, 14th of May. I did not let us fly because they say you need a Romanian visa to go back to Romania.
So we were left stranded, and so we had to stay in the airport. But the good thing was we met a lady who was trying to help us, one of the airline officials, and we told her our story, like, hey, we don't even have a place to go back to. And she was like, okay, so they'll see if they can put us in a temporary accommodation for a few days. Then by Monday we go to Asylum because we can go declare ourselves.
We didn't say we can go and do Asylum.
Okay, but she just said by Monday that there will be some officials that will attend to you for homelessness.
So apparently,
guys, I don't know why it's funny right now. It wasn't funny in those days. Like,
you see, the thing was somehow we got connected to the Ukrainian help desk.
Yeah.
And so there was some kind of a placement or a program for Ukrainians in the UK, or people who are being affected by the war in Ukraine. And so that's how we went there. And they had to make a temporary provision for accommodation for us.
So the Ukrainian help desk, we just explained to them the situation, and the idea of us meeting them wasn't really because we even needed an accommodation. We needed them to help us get out of the UK. Like, we want to go home, please. Just let us help us to be able to get on on the flight, but they couldn't really do much, so they put us in a temporary emergency accommodation. It was a weekend, so we're there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and by Monday morning we went back to the airport to the help desk, and they gave us an address and a contact, and they told us where to go. So we went to the address that we were given, and upon
Wait, what's funny?
When we got there, we talked to those people that were responsible for accommodation, right? And they were like, "Oh, do you have an application?" We're like, "Application for what?" And they were like, "This place is for those who are seeking asylum." We're like, "No, that's not why we're here. We just need an accommodation." So they gave us another number to call, and we called them. We're outside, and then they said, "Okay, we're going to make some calls." And mind you, the priority here was the fact that we had a child with us, and they don't joke with such things, right? So they will do every and anything to just get you a place. So we were just moving back and forth, and then they took us to one place for one night, and then they transferred us to another place for another night, and it was becoming exasperating.
Yeah.
Like, we were feeling tired, we've not eaten well, and we were just basically homeless and moving from place to place, right? And
oh God.
Yeah. And we just called our host family. Please. Can you people just help us? Okay, and then the good thing, we got connected to the council, and we went to the council. They asked us, we just gave them the breakdown of everything, the truth and nothing but the truth. And they contacted the host family, and they were like, okay, they're going to try to talk to the host family to sort of help us temporarily till they are able to make some kind of arrangement for us, So the host family, they took us back in. I mean, they already made plans, right? But we had a short time now to work on actually getting a place for us to live, And that was how we started the, accommodation hunt. And in the midst of that, while we're trying to get a place, our residency in the UK got approved.
Wow. Glory.
Glory. Amazing God.
Yes.
And that meant, because now social services were involved because of Ivan, and they were trying to see if we were qualified. And at some point, somebody asked, "Why are you people not thinking about going back to Nigeria? Since you don't have a place, since you're one of the officials." And the calls that I was almost crying like every now and then, like the calls, the questions. So why did you people come to the UK? How did you people come to the UK? Those questions where I had to take this calls over and over and over again. And then when our residency was approved, now we have a status, that was just God at work. And my husband said, okay, now we know we can leave, and then we can come back depending on the situation, right? So that was how we finally got a place. God provided again, another miracle. It was like a hostelish.
It was a hotel.
That was not like an emergency accommodation. And so we've just been moved to an emergency accommodation, like it's called, and this is it. Yep. Hi, shit. My husband ain't smiling, but he's handsome.
Ivan, come here.
Hi, baby. Yeah, so there's a small fridge. And that's it. How's that race? And we met another amazing lady there who helped to really guide us on, helping us on how to make, a decision. But at this point, we've been connected to our amazing Canadian family who became a part of our lives and our journey, and who were constantly calling, and they were just really involved in every way. And while we were at the emergency accommodation also, we became a part of a church just in the street where we were living, and that was another greater blessing of our life in the UK. So in the next video, we're going to share with you more on our Canadian family. We finally went back to Ukraine. Yes, we did. Yes, and every other thing that followed after that. So thank you so much. So thank you so much for your love, for your support, for following. You are the real MVP.
All right, so keep giving us your support, keep giving us your love. If you have questions, do not hesitate to put them on the comment section. I know that it may not quite be clear why we had to make certain decisions, and if you want to know about that, we'll deal with them specifically. So put your questions in the chat box, and we'll be sure to give a response. So thank you so much, and see you again in our next video.
And Victor is trying to be so much in this video, and he's making all the sounds you're hearing. So please, this is him saying, "I'm the leading man my parents are talking about. I'm here. I'm fine," and everything. All right. So thank you so much. Yeah, he says bye.
Bye.